finished, I have fought a good fight, and I have finished my course, and I have kept the faith.
All right. All right.
Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. Not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearance. We live in a dangerous world today. No doubt wherever you go, you will find wars and rumors of war.
Yes, Lord.
You know what's happening in the Middle East between Israel and the Palestinians. You know what's going on in Iraq, that George Bush war. You know what's happening in Afghanistan, what's going on in Pakistan, what's going on in Somalia and Sudan. All over the world there are wars. I want to talk about a war tonight. Is that all right? Not going to talk about Iraq. Heard enough about that. Not going to talk about Pakistan and Afghanistan. We heard a whole lot about that. But I want to talk about a war that's raging right here in Chicago. Right here in your neighborhood. And maybe raging right in your home. We are all a part of this war. Matter of fact, we've all been drafted into this war. You can have a choice. You're in this war. You've been recruited, whether you are young or old. You're a soldier in this war. Whether you are male or female, everybody's on the front line. There's nobody in the quartermaster. Everybody's on the front line, in the trenches. There are no conscientious objectives. You got to fight in this war. There's nobody standing on the sidelines cheering. Nobody's holding up protest signs saying, "In the war now."
Well,
everybody's in the thick of this war.
yes.
And either you're on God's side,
Watch out now.
or you're on the enemy's side.
All right.
There is no in-between ground.
All right.
All of us are soldiers. And if you live long enough down here, you will find out that you're in this army. And if you're in this army, you will bleed.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
I don't know whether you're 9 or 99. Everybody's got blood in this fight. We all have some wounds. Some open wounds. I've been wounded. Elder Parker's been wounded. Everybody here has had some shots taken at them.
Yes, sir.
And we've all had to shed some blood. We've all had some wounds, and some of us are still bleeding. And some of us have open wounds. And even when we try to retire from this war, there is no retirement.
That's right.
You can't retire after 20 years. Some of us have been on the battlefield for 40 and 50 and 60 years.
Well,
Fighting a war that we just can't seem to win. Nobody's standing on a ship like George Bush with a big sign behind them saying, "Mission accomplished." Not in this war. There is no mission accomplished. Matter of fact, there are bodies all over the place.
yes.
It is. Yes, it is.
Some left dying on the battlefield. Some of them who used to sit in church next to you.
Watch out. Watch out, Pastor.
Can I preach tonight for just a moment? But some of us have friends who used to sit next to us,
Yeah.
who have been wounded, and nobody put a Band-Aid on.
That's right.
They didn't medevac them out. They just sat there and bled to death.
Yeah.
We're in a war. times.
Yes.
I've been shot so many times. I got wounds that are open. Don't look at me and think that I don't have any wounds. I've been wounded on this battlefield. But I found out you got to get up and keep on fighting.
That's right. That's right.
The problem with so many Christians today is that after they've been wounded, they stop fighting. After somebody talk about them, then they're ready to give up the ghost. Leave the church. Don't want anything to do with the Adventist church because they've been wounded. And nobody took care of their wounds. But I come here tonight to let you know you got to fight a good fight.
That's right.
Nobody's going to give you a crown of life because your name is on the church roll. Or because you're a deacon in the church. Or you the pastor. Or you write the checks or you sit on the church board. That's not a guarantee that you're going to get a crown of life.
That's right. That's right.
Make no mistake about it. Your name and your title means nothing in this fight.
That's right.
You've got to be willing to put your life on the line. You've got to be willing to lay your life down in this battle. You've got to have a weapon too. Your good looks won't help you in this warfare.
That's right.
You got a whole lot of pretty ladies in here. Watch out. They ain't going to help you. A lot of handsome men, but it really doesn't matter in this fight. There are nobody gets sympathy because of who you are, because of who your parents are, or how long you've been in this army. The devil will take you out.
Yes, he will.
And take out your whole family.
That's right.
There are no prisoners of war. There's no concentration camp. No, what is that place that no, there's no place for combatants. All right? There's no jury trial. You are guilty. If you're in God's army, you are guilty.
That's right.
We have challenged the devil's army.
That's right.
We're trying to stamp out his army. We're trying to destroy his army. The devil has put a target on everyone who claims to be a child of God.
That's right. That's right.
Can I come down and talk to you for just a few minutes? You take with this, am I right?
Come on,
All right, let
Daddy.
me take this mic with me. I'm not going to be long. But let me tell you something. Somebody is out to destroy you.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody's out to take your family and to tear it apart. Somebody's out to ruin you financially. And I know we Adventists, we live in this little bubble. And we think that we are isolated and secluded from all of these things. But I got news for you. The devil has stepped inside the bubble. And I know this is a spiritual church and you got a spiritual pastor. But I got news for you. There's a war even going on in the house of God. The enemy has stuck in through the back door. Sits on the church board.
Watch out now, Pastor.
I don't always watch out, but I'm going to tell it like it is.
Yes, sir.
And his main job is to infiltrate. He's a sleeper. You know what those sleeper cells?